Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are safe and fine at your home. So, students, welcome back in mathematics class. This is class 9th. We are discussing these days chapter number 10, circles. This is our lecture 5. In this lecture, we will discuss theorem 10.8 and 10.9 and the remaining questions of exercise 10.4. So students, theorem 10.8, the statement, the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. This is the statement of 10.8. This is the important theorem. You have to learn this statement completely. The statement is the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. It means, students, two angles are there and they are made by the same arc. They are made by the same arc. He said if one arc is making an angle at the center of the center is double, which compare of which angle, we have to take another angle which is made by a same arc on at any another point on the remaining part of the circle, means at any another point on the circumference of the circle, because with a continuous piece of circumference of the circle, we called it as arc, and that arc made an angle at the center and the another angle at the remaining part of the circle. So let me explain you with the help of diagram. We have three possibilities. First, if we have a circle like this, center O here and a arc PQ, a minor arc PQ is there. This is the angle made by the arc at the center. This is the angle made by the arc at the center. And another angle which is made by the same arc at the other remaining part of the circle is angle A. So we have to prove that that angle which is made by the arc at the center is double to the angle made by the arc at the remaining part of the circumference of the circle, remaining part of the circle. We have to prove that angle, this angle 1 and this angle 2. Angle 1 is double as compared to angle 2. But it is not compulsory that arc is a minor arc. It is also possible that arc is a major arc and arc is a semi arc. It means half. So the second possibility is, if we have a diagram, same diagram with the same labeling. So we have a arc PQ like this as a diameter. This is angle which is made by this arc PQ at the center of the circle, because it is a chord and it is your arc. This angle made by at the center by this arc PQ, and this angle made by the arc on the remaining part of the circle. Here we have a arc PQ is a minor arc. Here we have a PQ is a semi arc. Correct? So here we have the same labeling, angle 1 and angle 2. So we have to prove that same thing, that angle 1 is double as angle 2. So students, now the third possibility of this theorem is the arc will be a major arc. If we have a center O, then this is a major arc now, and this is our angle 1. This arc made by an angle at the center of the circle is angle 1. It is double by the angle made by the same arc PQ at the remaining part of the circle. This is our angle 2 in this. So according to this theorem, we have three possibilities: with the minor arc, with a semi arc, or with a major arc. So we have to prove that angle 1 is double as compared to angle 2 in all three cases. So we will apply one identity in first case, and then we will follow the same thing in the second and the third one. Okay, so we will start our proof of our theorem with the help of first diagram. This is center O, point P and Q are P and Q. This is your angle at the center, and this is your angle at the remaining part, which is A. This is angle 1 and this is angle 2. So students, what is given? PQ is an arc, okay, and angle 1 is at center. And what we have to prove? We have to prove that angle POQ is double of the angle PAQ. Correct? We have to prove this. So we have to do a small construction for this. We have to draw a line which bisects the angle. We have to draw a line which bisects the both angles, If we will not take the bisector, then it is also okay. Construction, extending line AO. We have to mark a name here, AO, to a point B. Now proof. We know it very well. Now with the line AB, we have two small triangles. In these two small triangles, angle sum property and the exterior angle sum property also applicable. So in triangle BAQ, angle BOQ, which is the exterior angle. Here we have BOQ, which is the exterior angle of this triangle, which is equal to OAQ plus AQO. OAQ and OQA. Correct? Because we know that what is the reason? That exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two interior opposite angles. We know it that this is the exterior angle property. Now in the another triangle, in triangle OAQ, in a triangle OAQ. This is our triangle OAQ, and now we are taking three things. OAQ. OA is equal to OQ because it is radius of the same circle. So we know that in the chapter number 7 we read a theorem that if two sides are equal in a triangle, then the corresponding angles are also equal. If these two sides are equal, then the corresponding angles of them are also equal. So OAQ is equal angle OQA, equal sides have equal angles. Correct? So if sides are equal, then definitely angles are also equal. If these two angles are equal, then what about this equation? Because here we have these, both the angles are present here, so we can replace one angle with the another angle. Is it possible? Yes. BOQ is equal double of angle OAQ. You can say that double of angle OAQ, and you also said that BOQ is equal to double of angle OQA. Similarly, we can say that on the other side of the diagram, because I proved that only BOQ, this angle, is double of the angle OAQ, because we want this angle only. So similarly we can prove that this angle BOP is double of angle OAP. So there is no need to prove again and again. We can write BOP is equal to double of angle OAP. This is our equation number 1. This is our equation number 2. From equation number 1 and 2, we will add them. So when we will add them, then angle POQ is double of angle PAQ. It means angle 1 is equal to double of angle 2. So it is already proved. So students, there is no need to prove the same thing with the other two diagrams, second diagram and the third diagram. So you have to make both all three diagrams. It is compulsory, otherwise marks will be deducted. But there is no need to prove again and again with the three different diagrams, because all three diagrams we have same labeling and we have same names. So this proof is applicable for all three. So we can say that from the second, similarly in the second and the third case we proved that this. But in the third case, but because in the second case it is same, in the third case we can say that reflex, because angle is greater than 180, reflex angle POQ is equal to double of angle PAQ. Correct? Because in this second diagram it is also very easy to prove that the center, because with the help of same construction. This is our third diagram, and I said that reflex of POQ, because students, I want to pay attention towards this point, that angle POQ is this. Angle POQ is this. This is not the angle POQ, but we have to prove that this as angle 1. So the name of this angle is reflex of angle POQ. Reflex of angle POQ. So the reflex of angle POQ, it means angle 1. Name is same. We are proving with the angle 1 and angle 2. Do not confuse with that. But the name of this angle, which is greater than 180 degree, is reflex of POQ. Okay. Now theorem 10.9. Theorem 10.9 is also very easy. Students, honestly, 10.9, theorem 10.9 is a part of theorem 10.8. It is not a different theorem, it is a part of 10.8. The statement of the theorem 10.9 is angles in the same segment of a circle are equal, and there is another property of the circle, there is another property of a circle which is also a part of this same theorem, which is, this is a part or another property, that angle in a semicircle is a right angle. So they both are proved from the theorem 10.8, from theorem 10.8. So first of all I will explain this part of this theorem. If we will take theorem 10.8 first diagram, theorem 10.8 first diagram said that if we have a center O and a angle PQ, so students, according to theorem 10.8 you have to write statement in the proof of theorem 10.9. We have proved that angle 1 is equal to double of angle 2. We already proved in theorem 10.8. So you can write what is given in theorem 10.9. Theorem 10.9 is given that two angles are present in a same segment. Now what is the meaning of two angles are present in a same segment? So students, arc PQ, first of all you have to understand what is the meaning of angle present in a same segment. Students, if we have a circle like this, and this is an angle which is made at a center of a circle, and this is another angle which is made on the remaining part of the circle. If I will make a second angle here, and then another angle, third angle is also possible, fourth angle is also possible, fifth angle is also possible like this, another angle is also possible like this, here and here. So all the angles are present in the same segment. All the angles are present in the same segment. The basic concept is this: all the angles are made by this arc PQ. All the angles are made by this arc PQ. So they all are equal because they all are present in a same segment made by same arc. So if this is angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they all are equal to each other. We have infinitely many angles here and they all are equal to each other because they are made by the same arc. The condition is the angle made by the arc, the end point should be present on this arc. If end point should not present on this arc, then it is not follow this property that angle in a same segments are equal. So if I will make another angle in our given diagram for theorem 10.9, then end points are PQ here again. I will mark it as angle B and angle 3. Angle 3. So students, according to our theorem 10.8, angle 1 is equal to angle double of angle 2. This is equation number 1. We also prove that angle 1 is equal to double of angle 3 because it follows the same. This angle 1 is made by this arc at the center of the circle and this angle 3 is made by the same arc at the remaining part of the circle. This is our equation number 2. So students, from equation 1 and 2, double of angle 2 is also equal to double of angle 3. They both are equal to angle 1 and angle 1. 2 is cancelled with 2. So 2 and 3 are also equal to each other. So now I proved that angle present in a same segment which is made by the same arc. It means the end point of the angles are same. They are equal in measure or equal to each other. Now the second property, that angle in a semicircle is right angle. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. This property is followed with the another second diagram. Second diagram of theorem 10.8 was, this is the center O, this is our arc, semi arc PQ, this is angle 2 and this is angle 1. So according to the theorem 10.8, we already proved this. Correct? Here we know that PQ is the diameter, it means that it's a straight line segment. So angle 1 is a 180 degree, we will put here. Here 2 is multiply, when we will shift to the other side it will be present in division. So angle 2 is 90 degree, it is clearly visible. So that property, angle present in a semicircle, because if it is a diameter it is a semicircle, it is 90 degree. Now again students, do not confuse with that. We proved theorem 10.9 that angle in a same segment of a circle are equal. If I will made this angle 3, so it is also present in a same segment and made by the same arc with angle 2 and angle 3 are equal to each other, so it is also 90 degree and it is also 90 degree, it is also 90 degree and it is also 90 degree. So students, hope you got this point, theorem 10.9 and the one property of a theorem 10.9. So students, now we will discuss questions of exercise 10.4. So we will start our lecture with question number 5th, because I already explained first 4 questions. Question number 5th is a little bit difficult question, so you have to pay attention here. So we will read the statement and then draw the diagram. So the statement is 3 girls, Reshma, Salma and Mandeep, are playing a game by standing on a circle of the radius 5 cm drawn in a park. It means 3 girls are playing with each other. They are standing like this, that they are standing in a form of circle with the radius 5 cm. Reshma throw a ball to the Salma, Salma to the Mandeep and Mandeep to the Reshma. If the distance between Reshma and Salma and between Salma and Mandeep is 6 meter each, what is the distance between Reshma and Mandeep? So students, we have to draw a diagram first. This is your circle. Here we have Reshma, Salma and Mandeep. So distance between them is 6 centimeter and it is also 6 centimeter. We have to find this RM and this is the center O. So we will join, this is our radius 5 centimeter and this is also our radius as 5 centimeter. So now we are going to find RM. We are going to find RM. So students, what is given in this question? SM is equal to 6 centimeter. RO radius is 5 centimeter. Now we have to prove is find RM. Find RM. So students, prove. We know it very well that SO is perpendicular on RM, because we know it very well when we will draw a line from the center of the circle, then it is perpendicularly bisected. It is perpendicular bisected the chord. So according to this, if SO is perpendicular on RM, then definitely it is bisect also. RA is equal to AM. RA is equal to AM. We have to find the value of RM. So if we will find the value of RA, then we will get double. So students, in triangle RSA, because it is 90 degree angle, then it is RS square. We will apply the Pythagoras theorem in it. RS square RA square plus SA square. RS is 6 centimeter square, then RA square SA square, then it is 36 RA plus SA whole square. We have to find RA square, so definitely RA square is equal to 36 minus SA square. In triangle, this is our equation number 1. In triangle ROA, so again we have a right angle triangle and we will apply a Pythagoras theorem in it. RO square is equal to RA square plus AO square. We know it very well. The value of RO, which is the radius, it is 5 centimeter square. We can write AO as R square. We can write AO as SO minus SA whole square, because the reason is here we have RA and SA square, two variables. Here we have RA and OA, four variables. With the three variables we can't solve them, so we have to change it. We have to change in SO and SA. Now you can say that, ma'am, now again we have four variable because we have SO extra, but we know the value of SO na beta. It is the radius of circle. RA square, which is 5 minus SA whole square. 5 minus SA whole square. Now we will open the whole square. We know that it is A minus B whole square. A square plus B square minus 2AB 10SA minus 2AB 10SA. Now we will solve this equation, which is 25 cancel with the 25. So we will find the value of RA square from here also, because we have RA square value here also. So it is 10SA minus SA square is equal to RA square. This is our equation number 2. Here we have a value of RA square, here we have a value of RA square also. So we have to put them equal to each other from equation number 1 and 2. S 36 minus SA square is equal to 10 SA minus SA square. So SA square cancel with the SA square. The value of SA is equal to 3.6 centimeter. If the value of SA is 3.6, so we will put the value of SA here and find the value of RA square. RA square is equal to 36 minus SA square. RA square is equal to 36 minus the value of SA is 3.6 square. So we have to find the value of 36 minus 12.96. After subtraction, we have to change this square to on the other side as a root. The value of RA is 4.8 centimeter. The RM is equal to double of RA, because we already proved that it is equal to 9.6. This is the distance between Reshma and Mandeep. Now students, your lecture is over. Now your homework. This is your homework. Do theorems. Theorem 10.8 and 10.9 and the questions of exercise 10.4 from your NCERT in your homework notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.